Okay guys, so there's a couple things you want to avoid and some factors you want to consider when selecting your first product. Once you've found it, obviously you've gone through your product research, there's a few things you want to consider and just make sure that these things you take into account when choosing your first product. So the first thing that I'd go ahead and suggest is make sure that the product you're selecting doesn't have any variations. Like we've discussed before, those yoga floor mats. So what I've seen in the past is yoga floor mats that are either 12 inches or 10 inches or 11 inches, all different sizes. Now, if you have different sizes of a different product, let's say t-shirts, maybe you have small, medium, large, and extra large, what you're gonna have to do is, if you're using that as your first product, it's gonna be a large investment because you've got to have the same amount of stock for each item. Say you've got small, medium, and large. You need 500 items of each size in stock on Amazon for it to sell. And to order that, then you're ordering 1,500 items, which is a large investment for your very first order. And the thing is, you don't know which of those is going to sell as well. You don't know which size has the highest sales velocity. So you could order small, medium, and large, and your small sells out in a couple days, while your medium and your large stick around. Now you have to reorder your small stock, and it's very, very confusing for your very first product. So I'd suggest not doing that. You'll also have multiple FN SKUs, and what the FN SKU is the barcode or the unique identifier that Amazon gives you to stick on your product. And if you don't have any experience, it can be a bit difficult to getting your supplier to put the FN SKUs on the right products and things like that. So it can get confusing, and there's a lot more things you have to consider and factor in. So I suggest sticking to one single product, one single variation of a product for your first product. Then, as we discussed, seasonality and trends. So seasonality refers to things that only occur a couple times a year. So, for example, those inflatable pool floats that we saw in the product research. A pool float might be selling like crazy right now, but as soon as it hits winter and the colder weather comes around, nobody's going to be buying pool floats because nobody's going to be swimming. So while it might have sales throughout the year at certain times, it'll drop off and you're not sure when that's going to happen. So for your first product, I'd avoid that, but like I said, you can prepare for it. So say for a month before summer comes, you're like, cool, I want to get my product into Amazon a month before summer hits so that they sell during summer and then sell out, and then I'll order again next year. So if you take that into account, you can do that, but I'd suggest not doing that for your first product. And then with regards to trends, such as things like fidget spinners, we've all seen fidget spinners online. They went crazy, they sold like hell, and people made a lot of money on them, but they lasted for a period of time. They don't continually sell all year round, and to enter into a market like that now would almost be impossible because the guys have reviews that are just crazy. Their sales velocity is way too high, so in order to compete with them it would be impossible. But if you got in right at the beginning of the trend, it would have been a very good trend to get in on, but there's no way you can predict that. So I'd suggest staying away from fidget spinners or trends for your very first product. And then things like phone accessories, as well, because say a new iPhone comes out, you start selling phone covers for that iPhone. By the time the next phone comes out, those covers become sort of obsolete and no one's really buying them as much as they were in the past. So I'd avoid that as well. Then heavy and costly items. So items that are heavy and oversized and big and maybe just too expensive as well. Like I've discussed the baby cribs. So while it could fit in within our range, I've seen baby cribs for about $49, like the structure. So for $49, that might be really good, but to ship something like that, it's oversized and quite big, you're gonna pay a lot more for shipping, and your FBA fees are gonna get higher because Amazon's gonna charge you more to fulfill that order because it's more work for them. It's heavier, it's bigger, it requires more effort to do. So Amazon's gonna charge you more, and it's gonna destroy your profit margins. So I'd avoid that. Then with regards to costly items, so say items that you're selling electronics, say something that's $150. It might be a very good product and you might be making a huge profit on it, maybe $100 if it costs you $50 to make. But the issue with that is that for your first investment, you might not have enough startup capital to buy, say, 500 units or 1,000 units. So if you're buying just a couple units, maybe 30 or 40 units, you're going to sell out, or you're not going to sell at all, or you're not going to have enough money for PPC. And I'd rather buy more stock at a lower price, so rather go for cheaper items. So if something's very expensive, don't go for that. And then need products versus one product. So need products versus one products refer to things like, need products would be tissue paper, toilet paper, garbage bags, paper towels, all sort of things that people use every single day and want all year round, coffee, regular household items. So people use that all year round, so you're guaranteed sales throughout the year. It's not seasonal and something that people use constantly, so that might be a good need product. Whereas a one product, things like toys and games and accessories and things that you go to the shops and you're not like, we really need food this month, but I want this game or I want this toy. So one product won't have as much sales velocity, it won't sell year round like need products do. So if you can go into a need product, do it. But if you do find a product that is selling well, that is a one product, like a game or a toy or something like that, or a sports item, maybe a baseball bat or something like that, go for that as well. But just make sure that it's got year round sales. So those are the few things just to avoid and consider when picking your first product.